Another episode of Free Friday Tidbits. This month is October, and I want to switch gears for a little bit to begin our discussion on the ninth category of primary characteristics of FANB. FANB, remember, is fetal alcohol and not neurobehavioral conditions, right? So it encompasses not just FASD, but it could also include autism, it could include ADHD, it could include any brain-based condition. For instance, and I know I've said this before, I use the neurobehavioral model with my mother who has dementia. So if it's a brain-based condition, this approach will help. And a primary characteristic, if you recall, is those behaviors that reflect our unique wiring or the way any individual brain is wired to perform tasks. So, basic to this discussion is that we've been covering all these months so far is that any behavior has a number of brain tasks that underlie it, right? Kind of like the background functions of your computer that enable a program to work, right? The program being the behavior. So there are 9 categories, and we've covered pretty much most of them, but the category we're going to talk about this month, the month of October 2023, is more strength focused because our strengths are equally unique to each of us, right? I've said many times that our particular combination of challenges, strengths, and learning styles are as unique to us as our fingerprint. So this week, we're going to be talking about our interests. So if you are the person living with FANB, then think about your own interests, the things that you like, the things that bring you pleasure. But if you're a parent, then I want you to think about your child. Just take a step back and away from the frustration that you may experience day to day with various behavioral challenges, and think about all the unique things that your child really enjoys, and think about it as, my kid is such a unique gift, right? So I want you to think about what is your child's interests, right? Or your own, or your partner's, or your employees, right? Whatever the relationship that is that you have with a person who is impacted by prenatal exposure to alcohol. Think about the interests, the things, the activities that bring joy. Is your person with FANB interested in arts and crafts, right? Do they like to sew or to knit or crochet? Do they like to scrapbook, right? Or do they like to draw or color or paint? Do they like cooking? Do they like sports? Are they into bike riding or skateboarding or skiing? What activities do they like? Do they like organized sports, team sports like basketball, football, baseball, soccer, anything like that? Are they into reading? Do they enjoy reading? Do they enjoy music, whether it's singing? If it's singing, do they like being in a choir? Do they like, just singing whatever's on the radio? Or do they like creating their own lyrics? Or do they play an instrument, right? Does your person enjoy helping others? Is it outdoor activities? Is it like water sports or just being in a pool? Like, is it more swimming laps or is it free swim? What is it that they like? Is it winter sports, ice skating or skiing or, anything like that? But think about all the individual characteristics of your person with fetal alcohol or neurobehavioral conditions, what brings them joy. And it's really important that you tap into that and remember that our strengths are even more important than our challenges. And at the end of the month, we're going to get into a little bit why. I want you to spend some time this week thinking about that and just keeping track, maybe making some notes and really appreciating your person in a way that maybe you haven't in a while. And because life is full of frustrations, I get it. I totally get it. But just think, with fresh eyes, tap into those strengths and those interests. And we'll see you next Friday for another free Friday tidbit. But in the meantime, please remember to come back on Monday for another episode of the Living with FASD podcast, which is also here on YouTube in the same channel. Patricia Casper, your FASD coach, just a different track. But come back on Monday for the podcast and be thinking about your person's interests, right? And have a great week. Enjoy your weekend. Have a great week. We'll see you next Friday for another free Friday tidbit. Take care.